Good morning and welcome to today's 5 with Fitz. Futures were down overnight but flat ahead of the opening, and now frankly we have a pretty good rally underway. Let me double check. Yep, we got a pretty good rally underway. All the usual stuff is in play, including a potential Fed tapering, fears of another economic slowdown related to COVID variants. Importantly though, companies like Apple, Charles Schwab, and others are now delaying a return to offices until January. More will undoubtedly follow. Here's my playbook. 1. 5 easy ways to protect your money. I wrote a special 5 with Fitz yesterday. Please, please, please read it carefully if you have not already done so. It's a simple 5-step plan any investor or trader can use to protect his or her money from what's happening from the Fed in particular. Let me repeat that. Any investor or trader. Click the link in the description to read it. Point number 2, play offense or you will get played by somebody who is. Volatile markets are scary, I get that, but they're also a dynamic source of profit potential, which is why you want to use them to your advantage. The world will be a very different place 3, 5, 10 years from now, and that's what you want to focus on if you can. There are dozens of ways to harness the volatility and shift the odds into your favor. You don't have to just buy stocks like most people think. Some of my favorite tactics include lowball orders, selling cash secured puts, buying inverse funds, or using spreads. Things that can keep you in the game and critically put the odds in your favor, not Wall Street's. If you don't know how or what these things mean, learn. It is not difficult, and the knowledge you pick up is absolutely worth the effort. The last thing you want to do is squander the opportunity, even if there's more selling to come. Point number 3, AMC CFO dumps $1.5 million in stock. SEC documents show CFO Sean Goodman dumped 45,405 shares of stock for estimated proceeds of $1.5 million. Now, ordinarily, I wouldn't give a second thought to something like this because liquidity events happen all the time. I don't know if this was a pre-planned sale, but assume it is. What makes his sale suspect in my mind, though, is that he's done so after a supposedly transformational Q2 and raising another $1.25 billion in capital. I also find his actions curious considering that he sold ahead of a new policy that CEO Adam Aron reportedly intends to float to the board requiring vested shares over a several-year time frame. Something does not pass the sniff test. I can't put my finger on it yet, but I'm leery. Point number 4, Teslabot. Tesla CEO Elon Musk introduced a humanoid robot prototype at Tesla AI Day earlier this week, noting that the Teslabot would do work people don't want to do. Now, lately, that's just apparently everything and everybody, given the record number of jobs opening in this country, but I digress. The important thing to focus is that the robot uses the autopilot system, cameras, programming, and, quote, Musk said, all the same tools that were used in the car. This further reinforces the point I have been making for several years. Anybody who thinks Tesla is about cars at this point has already lost the plot. Musk is one of the very few executives on the planet with the smarts and the capital to back up his thinking. Underestimating him is a serious, serious mistake. $1,000 a share is not only doable at this point in my mind, but probably conservative too. Point number 5, China's regulatory blitz strikes again. I mentioned to Stuart Varney a few weeks back that I'd sold every last Chinese stock I owned and would not be going back anytime soon. His eyebrows shot up as I made my case. Well, big surprise, no surprise actually. The regulatory blitz continues and Chinese stocks are getting hammered yet again. Just yesterday, China's Ministry of Industry and Information Technology rebuked 43 apps, including critically Tencent Holdings' WeChat messaging app for illegally transferring user data, as reported by Fortune. Now, here's the really scary part. President Xi Jinping has also said that the CCP is considering measures to redistribute the wealth accumulated by tech leaders and other highly successful Chinese entrepreneurs. U.S. regulators, frankly, are a walk in the park compared to what's happening there. I would think very, very, very seriously about what you're hoping to accomplish if you own China's stocks or ETFs at this point. Diversifiers are arguing that the stocks are so beaten down you got to simply invest or something similar. No, you don't. Beijing does not care how much of your wealth gets destroyed. The big money is liquidating Chinese holdings and rotating money back to U.S. alternatives, which is helping prop up our markets. The last thing you want to be doing is spending your cash on their trash. Today's bottom line. Many people worry about how far stocks can go when the selling starts. Flip that around. The biggest bounces often come from quality stocks that get hit hardest. Your job as an investor or trader is to make sure you know how to find them. You got this, I promise. As always, let's make it a fabulous Friday. I'll be with you next time. Have a great weekend. Thank you for watching today's Morning 5 with Fitz. Click subscribe to get daily market notes right here on YouTube, or sign up for the email versions at the link below. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram for my real-time thoughts on markets, analysis, and more.